Hello.
Hey, what's going on again?
You're the same guy I was talking to before, right?
Yes, sir. It's Jason.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I took care of the other business I had to take care of, so I'm all yours.
All right. Nice, dude. All right. Yeah. So like I said, obviously you made it very clear with your intentions of, you looking to expand on everything that you have first before moving forward. But like I said, I just want to know exactly where you're at. So let's just start off with, how's your dating life going? I mean, tell me about that a little bit.
In order to tell you, I kind of have to tell you a bit of a life story. I'll try my best to summarize it. I mean, I don't want to talk your ear off, but it's very relevant, so I'll start there, right? So this all goes back to when I was in college, right? The last time I dated someone long-term was when I was in college, right? I graduated from college in the year of 2019. Started college in 2014, right? So 2019, I had a relationship with that same person on and off again, but it's very clear to me that I was not in control of that relationship. The more I gave, the less I got back. And then that kind of led me into like some of, I guess, what you could call the red pill content that exists on the internet. Cause I'm an analytical guy. Like, I'm just like, okay, that's not making sense to me, right? What's the answer here? And then eventually it led me into all of that stuff. I've consumed a lot of the content. Now, as far as Austin Dunham is concerned, I heard about Austin back in 2019. I used to work at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
I used to work security because, back then I used to do a lot of weightlifting as a big guy. So I used to work security, and someone that I met there was actually apparently related to Austin. She was like, you remind me of like my nephew. And I was like, who's your nephew? And then she showed me. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I know this guy. And I was looking, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I looked into Austin's story, and I was like, this guy's the same age as me. Same age as me. Apparently we look kind of similar, although he's better looking than I am, of course. I was like, what makes this guy different from me? I think Austin's a smart guy, but I don't think a slouch either. All right? So I was like, what makes him different? So that kind of got me thinking about it. I used to follow lots of his like fitness content as well. Right now, as it is, I'm in damn good shape. Like, I lift weights 2 times a week. I box 2 times a week. I'm in great shape, right? Now, this is how this relates to my dating life. So ever since I graduated from school, I've been living at home, right? And one of the things that the Red Pill community often talks about is the need to level yourself up in multiple different places, right? So I had fitness down. I'm like, okay, I got to solve money and I got to solve status. I've been solving money during all that time. So now I work in e-commerce. I put that I was an e-commerce specialist because it's a very general job title. But what I actually am is a software engineer in the e-commerce industry.
Got it.
Yeah. So I have the money. At least I'm starting to have it anyway. I also have a business as well related to that I've been building up over the past 5 months, right? And just starting to get traction. So it's clear that I'm doing the work, right?
Correct.
But the last thing that's just been eluding me is being able to properly understand and deal with female nature. I understand all the talking points. I get it. My issue is putting it in practice, right? And the reason why I didn't sign up for the Digital Romeo last night is because I thought to myself, even if I was able to create a funnel to get dates, I don't think I have enough practice to be able to use the funnel properly, which is why I thought to myself, maybe it's a better move to consume all the Patreon content first so I can improve everything else before. Yeah.
With that said, before you continue here, that's awesome, right? So like you said, your fitness is up. You have hobbies for yourself. Like you said, understanding female nature. I love the story that you said before. The more you gave, the less that you got out of it. And with that said, also, I want to ask. All right, so let's break it down now to you not dating in the last 3 years. Is the reason that you haven't been dating because you were trying to set up your life correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
yes, also because I have a very big limitation on how much I can do.
yeah, I can see that. Also, yeah. So and I talk to a good amount of software developers too, and I don't want to put you in the same category, but you guys are very logical, very linear.
Yes.
In certain ways. I mean, it just shows even of you how you're setting up your lifestyle at the moment. Now, in regards of you, whether you go to the program or not, I understand that you haven't put anything to practice, but I mean, that is pretty much the point of the program. Obviously, part of it is going to be developing that dating funnel, but before that, like you said, it's more of you even getting comfortable with women, you going out. I see that you're in New York. Which part of New York are you in?
Queens.
Queens, nice, dude. Me too. I'm in Maspeth right now.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So I also want to ask you, what about social media? Do you utilize that at all, or any online games?
Well, I don't beyond business. The only platform I've been active on in the last 5 months really is like YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel for my business as well. So I've been doing that. I have an Instagram account that I don't use. I understand that a lot of the program is probably focused on Instagram.
In regards to the dating funnel, correct.
Yes. Like, the reason why I didn't want to use Instagram was because I kind of feel like it's a cesspool. You feel me? Like, it's not a good place. But I was like, I understand. This is where everybody is on. Like, Instagram is considered the biggest dating app, quote-unquote dating app in the world, even though it's not marketed that way.
Correct. And the reason for it, it's just, I mean, I don't know if you've even been on dating. Have you been on dating apps before?
I tried Tinder for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very superficial. It's heavily tailored to the woman. Like, I was just reading a research paper on this where 66% of men will swipe right, and only 4% of women will swipe right.
Yeah, I'm aware of all the stats.
Yeah, very, very. So in your situation, it just pretty much seems as if you've been pretty much stopping yourself from getting yourself out there because you're still trying to get certain things in place. And I guess because I see this a lot, because you've consumed content, your expectation subconsciously of what you should be doing and how you should be going about your dating life is probably high. And you might not, you're probably like, I haven't talked to girls in a sexual or whatever way dating in so long that I kind of have to just start from the beginning of this, right?
Well, that's the interesting part about this. My game doesn't suck. Like, because in order to get good at business, you got to get good at sales, right? Talking to people. I'm no slouch. Like, just recently I was at a conference, right? In a room full of people making millions of dollars. I'm not there yet, right? I'm talking to people. I'm able to get what I want out of them. But the thing is, I realize, I think it might be a mental thing. When I'm there, I understand this is about the business. So I can do this.
Again, being good at sales and in women, I mean, yes, they can coincide, but you'd be very surprised. A lot of sales guys are not that great with women also, right?
Really?
Yeah. And because it's a whole different thing, especially when emotions are involved. I mean, for sales, it's like there's emotion, but hey, I have a purpose and, I need to get myself out there and speak to people to get my money that I need to get, right? With women, it's a little bit different. Emotions are involved. There's other things involved in it. And, you'd be very surprised. So with that said, I mean, it basically seems as if you've been in the trajectory of improving yourself in each category. You've kind of put this one in the back burner and you're looking now to take the action necessary to kind of slowly start getting yourself out there in the dating game, correct?
Yes. Now, there is one other piece of information I'd like to provide to you because, again, it's relevant, right?
Please do.
I currently don't have my own place, even though I can afford to live anywhere. And the reason why is because I'm the oldest of four, and our parents suck. So I'm kind of the parent, right? So because of that, even if I were to be able to do all the steps properly, have a girl ready to do whatever I need her to do, I don't have a place to take her. Now, of course, I could do the whole hotel thing, but that's expensive in New York.
Again, yeah. But again, that shouldn't be this is where the software development, being very linear, trying to set everything up first before getting yourself out there. But in this process, you're already seeing the end goal way too far. Like, you haven't even talked to other girls or women or whatever the case is to even project that. And I understand that you say, oh, okay, like, I'm going to get myself out there and, something's going to come up to it and they're going to want to like meet up or come to my place or whatever the case is. But, it shouldn't be stopping you from speaking to women or even talking or escalating the situation. And if anything, it would be much more of a motivating factor for you than, as you're in the process of working on yourself, getting very good at it, to then prep yourself to do that. And we didn't even speak about it. So another question is, what is your goal with women? I mean, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to, build a rotation of multiple women? Are you looking to get yourself into a relationship? Or are you just trying to get to a point where you're pretty good at attracting women to the point where you start to attract high quality women on a consistent basis? And as you're going through that process, then you're able to kind of pick and choose the one that you would want to stay with long term. What is that looking like for you?
Well, it's probably somewhere in between the rotation and the last one you just mentioned about being able to pick and choose one. And the reason why I say that is because in my own life, my father cheated on my mother's stepfather cheated on her too. And I'm like analyzing their decisions. And I came to the conclusion that the reason they did those things was because of a lack of abundance. Because men, we're men. When we're hungry, we're going to go eat, right? You see an opportunity, you're going to take it, even though it's very impulsive, right? So I kind of felt to myself, if I could have money, if I could be able to attract whatever girls I want to, I don't have to make impulsive decisions. So for me, being in abundance means being in control of your life.
Correct. And I guess, that's where the rotation will come into place, right? But essentially, I mean, you might be, like you said, your parents, you said that they suck. I mean, so, you seeing that, you probably, or you might be different in the sense that that's not you, and that's not you, and that's not going to happen, right? So, with that said, so what's going on with the whole digital Romeo is, you kind of hit it in the nail, right? Austin is looking for a few committed men who are prepared to completely transform their dating life, typically with a minimum of 5 to 7 hours of effort per week. My job here is to select the men who I believe are the right fit. And at this point, I would say that we have a system that's down packed. And so my question to you then is, do you believe that you consuming more content is going to help you take the action necessary?
Well, I thought to myself that consuming content intentionally would help, right? But as far as objections are concerned, my main objection was time. So as it is right now, I don't even have time to do things for myself. Between making sure my siblings are good, everybody's going to school, they're eating, running this business, working as an engineer, and then going to the gym and things like that, I don't have time to sleep. So I'm like, how do I fit in this kind of thing? Because if I could find a way to fit it in with everything else I'm doing, I'd have no problem paying for it. Solving this problem is worth money to me.
Yeah. And I guess that's where the dating world, and obviously that's also, what are you doing and how are you going about your dating life then too? Because, for me also, I've done a couple of dating courses actually. It's one of the reasons why I work with Austin is that was the last one that I kind of did. And, the first one I did was like approaching women, and we're in New York City, right? So I'm like, oh, this is going to work, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for me to go out, let's just say 30 minutes or even, every other, even in a week, whatever, Saturday, Sunday. It's not sustainable for me to go out to start looking for women. And that doesn't even work. When I'm in the intentions of I'm looking for a girl while I'm outside, I don't get it. It's like watching the pot boil. It's never going to boil type thing. And that's why, and the dating world has kind of changed in regards of approaching is good. It's not as sustainable. And this is where the social media or dating, social media like Instagram would come into place and be a lot more sustainable for you. And also that's where you develop a system for yourself, where you develop some sort of dating funnel that it just comes to you a little bit much, easier than just going out there and having to approach, hundreds or whatever of women to kind of get you to where you want or to develop that funnel by doing so. And so if time is your problem, that's totally fine. Obviously I'm not going into this call with the intentions of you proceeding with the program, but it's something that we should exercise and see. I mean, and typically what happens here, we're having a conversation over the phone. I typically like to have these conversations over a Zoom call where you and I could see each other and we could go over everything, where we break down your situation, see where you're at, what you're trying to accomplish. And then from there, I go over the program and how it would look like with you and Austin working together. I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't think it would be a waste of time, you and I going over that. I mean, it's up to you. And, just to let you know, you're correct also in the sense that number one is you'd be working with Austin for 12 weeks. It'd be a 3-month program. And our intentions and goals there would be, number one, we would definitely look at the sexual market value. Number two, we will be creating a dating funnel where you would have a lot more of a pipeline of attractive women coming to you by using the power of social media and possibly dating apps if that's the route you're going to go to, possibly even approaching. But like you said, if time is a factor here, the reality is you're going to have to achieve that, you're going to have to, concentrate and commit to improving on this area of your life, because Austin definitely dedicates a good amount of time. It's only a small, intimate group too. It's only around 3 to 5 people inside of the program at a time, and we take it from there. So my question is, hypothetically speaking, if you and I saw this to be a good fit, let's just say later on, when would you be able to proceed with something like this for yourself?
Okay, so now my next question is, how flexible is Austin, right? Because if it's a matter of me just finding 5 hours in the week, I could probably find 5 hours a week. It just won't be at a time where it's comfortable for either of us. Also, I have no idea where he's based in.
So he's based in Orlando. He's Florida. So he's going to be, he's Florida time. So, dude, I mean, are you open to having a Zoom call? Maybe we could discuss this a little bit more further. Or
shit.
All right,
let's do it now.
All right, well, I'm going to...
Oh, maybe not now. You're probably busy, right?
Yeah. So are you available today, though?
So we're dealing with some big stuff on our software today. Maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow.
Okay.
But, and we could talk through the program in detail then, all right?
Okay, how about we do same time tomorrow then, like 10:30 or even 9 a.m.? It's up to you.
Yeah, 10:30 works perfectly fine with me. Now, you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, man, you could ask any question, man.
I appreciate you. So you mentioned the program's 3 months long, right?
Yep.
In my head, I thought it would be longer. So that kind of changes my perspective a little bit. Because, I very much believe striking while the iron hot. 3 months is even that. Right? So my question to you is, does it work with people on a one-to-one basis, or is it a group call kind of thing?
Yeah, so he does both, obviously. So I didn't tell you, but so personally, so the investment would require an investment of approximately between 2 to 3K, just to be very clear, number one. And that's predominantly going to be on a group, which this is why we have the Zoom call. I honestly do like a little group. And like I said, it's a small, intimate group. It's not like it's 10. There's not even 7 people on the call or 6, right? It's, typically on average, it's around 3 to 4 guys. And I do believe that it works. I mean, and it's actually good to have kind of different perspectives and different things from other guys inside the program. But yes, to answer your question, he does one-on-one and he does a group.
Okay. And 2 to 3K investment. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, that's more than I expected it to be. But like I said, this is the kind of problem that I've been dealing with truthfully for my entire life, right? So if I could solve this problem, and what's 3K to me? I don't care. So if I could find a way to make it work after the Zoom call, I would definitely try that.
Let's do it, man. Let's have a Zoom call then. I schedule you for tomorrow at 10:30. And listen, I think you and I are, we have similar things here. Like, you mentioned, what happened with your family, and you have siblings also. I'm the oldest of 3 siblings too. So There's a lot, and we grew up in New York City. Did you grow up in New York City?
Yeah, born and raised.
I grew up here, man. So there's a lot to talk about, I guess, and we could break things down. So I put you here for 10:30 tomorrow. All I ask of you is that you're on a, computer, right? I know you've probably used Zoom many times. And before we speak, I mean, we talked a little bit about the goals of you somewhat doing a hybrid of building rotation, getting consistent, options. If you could get a little bit more specific with that, like, at least 2 to 3 or 1 to 3 goals that you'd like to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months for yourself in regards to your dating life. Okay.
Yes, I can be very specific about this.
Okay.
Because I believe my issue is escalation.
Yes. And we can discuss that, dude. And even to the point, man, I'm down to even hang out, man. I mean, we can talk about this on the Zoom, bro. But I guess once you see me and we speak a little bit, whether we proceed or not, I'm totally open to doing stuff like that. And we
of course.
Further, all right?
Of course. And I'll maybe transparent with you as well. I also saw this as an opportunity to get into Austin's network.
Dude, I mean, that's just an undercover thing that we don't really talk about. I mean, that's also, I think, why the reason the group call does work a lot, and we could discuss that also in further. But the network is huge, yeah. You'd be very surprised at what you could get from Austin. Even getting a follow from Austin on Instagram, I would say, is somewhat big, right? Depending,
I want to know the man. I want to know how he thinks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll let you go now. How about we have that Zoom call? Yeah, tomorrow. You will get the automatic text messages, just to be very clear. So you don't have to really answer them, but I would say just say, yes, I'm good to go or whatever it is, just so I know it's good. Because I hate hopping on a Zoom call and, nothing, no show, whatever the case is.
Believe me, listen, I will show up on time tomorrow. Believe me.
All right. Sounds good, dude. All right, Patrick.
All right. I appreciate you spending your time with me, man.
No problem, dude. Same here.
All right. I guess I'll see you tomorrow, then. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.